Hello and welcome to this session. We'll start now. I hope you can hear me clearly. Innocent, can you hear me? Okay. My name is Joan Katambi and I'm the acting President and also General Secretary for the Internet Society Uganda chapter. I want to welcome you all for this session in the celebration of the Girls in ICT Day 2022. So the Internet Society Uganda chapter joins the world in celebrating this International Girls in ICT Day as an ITU, International Telecommunication Union initiative, but also a global movement centered to promote the existing career opportunities waiting for girls, young women, since one of the objectives of the chapter of the Internet Society is to provide such forums for discussions of issues that affect Internet evolution, technology development and use in the technical, commercial, societal, and other contexts. So this year's theme has been centered around access and safety, but also do not forget to tag us Internet Society Uganda chapter and ITU along with the hashtag ICT Girls in ICT Day 2022 on Twitter and across all social media handles. So we are hosting this event and because, today girls and young women thrive or have strived to be around, areas of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics careers. So we believe they need safe and reliable access to the internet, but also learn how to work with these digital tools. So the aim of the day usually is to cultivate the presence and digital skills of girls and young women, creating a movement that empowers but also encourages these girls to pursue such careers in STEM. So this, of course, will enable them to compete in what we call the so-called, the male-dominated field. So even the women need to realize the benefits for their greater participation in the ICT sector, but also with other STEM sectors through collaboration, but also partnerships around the ICT. So today we are also joined by other officials from the chapter. I guess Titus, we have Emmanuel. You can also give us your name and your role with the chapter. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Farouk Emmanuel. I work with Internet Society Uganda as the special match for joining.
So Titus, you have the floor.
I am the
I think we missed Titus, or I can't hear anything from him.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So Should I introduce myself again? Because I did. Did everyone hear me? Yeah,
you should. I actually did hear you personally.
Oh, okay. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Titus Eliezer. I am the Acting Programs Director for Internet Society Uganda chapter.
Thank you so much, Titus. And we also have Joseph Chuendo on the call. Can you introduce yourself and the role at the chapter? While we wait for Joseph Chuendo, we also have our leader, Ivan Bosa. Ivan Bosa, could you introduce yourself to our participants?
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Ivan Bosa, the acting or the treasurer Internet Society Uganda chapter. Yeah, thank you. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Great. Thank you all for, introducing yourself. So going forward, the rules are this meeting will be recorded. And number 2, if you are not speaking, please mute your mic. And also for the video, because, of the internet connections that are not good to give, access to everyone to be part of the meeting. So I'm also checking. Innocent, do we have already Angella here on the call from NITA Uganda?
Not yet, I don't see her. Let me just check out.
She's here with us already?
She's not yet here. I can't find her among the list.
Okay, so we'll start. We'll start right away, and we have our speakers already in the house. We have Christine Adero from the Aydia Gender and Technology Initiative. And we also have a representative from Fundi Uganda, and she's with us in the house. Members, please, if you are not speaking, kindly mute your mic. Can you hear me right now?
Yes. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, members, if you are not... Innocent, can you help me check, members, that mics are on and they should be on mute, because I'm getting a lot of feedback from this side.
Joan, I think you can mute them yourself.
It's fine now, it's fine.
Okay, thank you. So we shall start our session with the speaker, Christine Adero from the Aydia Gender and Technology Initiative. Christine has earned over 5 years experience actively working in the fields of digital rights and digital safety, and also security, where she has developed, led and implemented innovative programs and activities with a focus on digital safety and security for women and children. Throughout her career, she has taken lead roles in the field of digital security trainings, project management, data analysis and visualization, electronic document systems, but also youth and gender inclusive technologies. She is currently working as a digital advocacy lead at Aydia, Gender and Technology Initiative in Uganda, delivering ICT solutions for the development by building innovative tools and data to improve service delivery towards attaining sustainable global goals. She's also a founder of Passage, which is a tech solution that integrates with ride-hailing apps to provide safe and affordable means of transport for school children without needing a smartphone. Christine today is a 2022 Mandela Washington Fellow, a Safe Sister Program Fellow, but also a Digital Safety Program for the East African Women Fellow, but also has been selected as a speaker at the World Youth Forum, where she shared a panel with His Excellency, the President of Egypt, sharing her views on digital safety for children. Christine, you're most welcome to this session, and I'll straight take you to the question. Hope you can hear me.
Joan.
Hey, Christine.
Joan.
Yes?
Joan, just to interrupt you a bit. Just to interrupt you a bit, we have ISOC Live on the call, so I don't know whether it's possible for you to put your camera on because they are streaming the session on ISOC Live. Yeah. All right. Okay. Thanks. Yeah.
Okay. So, Christine, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'll straight take you through the questions. So, Christine, tell us, as Aydia Gender and Technology Initiative, how have you influenced the inclusion of women and girls in ICT today?
Thank you so much, Joan, and thank you to all of us who have joined us today on this conversation. I'm very excited to be part of these discussions. I'm very passionate about technology. Like Joan had introduced me, I work as the digital advocacy lead at Aydia Gender Technology Initiative in Uganda, alongside other responsibilities. I'm someone who wears so many hats. But it's an organization delivering information, communication, and technology ICT solutions for development by building innovative tools and data to improve service delivery towards attaining sustainable global goals. To go back to your question, as Aydia Gender and Technology Initiative, we, of course, from what I've mentioned that we do, we are very tech women focused. We like to motivate and influence and inspire young women to join technology. I feel that it's mostly male dominated. We are not trying to push the men away from this space, but rather encourage more women to join this space. So we've influenced the inclusion of women and girls in ICT. One has been mainly through trainings. For example, we've held a STEM bootcamp for the past, I think, 45 months, and I'm excited to see some of our alumni and program fellows to be being part of this call. And basically, the STEM bootcamp, which has been running for the past 4 cohorts, I think, from November, we take women through different sessions, through different trainings that build on their knowledge of technology, for example, coding, design thinking, but also helping through personal development trainings as well, because most of the time provide women, or let's say, we provide people with trainings and information, but we forget that sometimes someone is not empowered on a personal level. They implement the skills that you've given them. So personal development is a very important aspect, even as we try and build the skills of young people, that we need to also build their confidence and self-esteem, and also be able to push themselves to do what they want to do in life. So also other programs aside from the same Camp, which we've been working with collaborative partners with the US Embassy Kampala, where we host these programs at the American Center, and also Kibo Foundation, as well as other, organizations that are in line with the same field of work. We've also worked with women tech makers, which basically focusing on creating awareness on tech programs. And recently we held the Women's Day events at the American Center, where we were talking about bias in technology against women. We also share many opportunities on the different platforms that we've created. For example, all the cohorts that we run the STEM bootcamp have WhatsApp platforms. And once in a while, when we come across an opportunity in technology that I think young women can engage in, we share those. And it's nice to sometimes see some of them actually get through this program in and out of Uganda. It's not just Uganda, we keep these opportunities beyond Uganda for them to build their knowledge in this particular field. We also engage with different stakeholders that are in line of our work, basically just to push more women to be involved in that tech world that, like we say, is very male-dominated, but it also comes from, it comes from the community that we come in. Personally, growing up, I also thought technology is for men, and I shouldn't be, bothering myself, straining my head, doing a tech-related course, sorry. But, I've found myself somehow, somewhere in technology. I've got to love it. I've got to, be in a position where I'm eager to learn, eager to build my skills. And just so you know, I didn't study technology at campus. I studied I did a Bachelor of Arts in Social Sciences, but through these different opportunities, like the ones we're exposing young women to, I've been able to build my knowledge and skills and capacity in this particular field of ICT. So yes, we've done quite a number of programs, but those are the ones I'm able to mention. Respect to the time. Thank you so much, Joan.
Thank you so much, Christine. And I love the fact that you give us, I call it the story, from where we've started from in this area of advocacy around women and girls in ICT, and how to make women or girls, feel safe, how to work with these tools. But even beyond that, the elements that you have put in your programs around, programming, coding, introducing them to, design thinking, how to work, with the double diamond around, issues. Because I remember in one of your cohorts that I've managed to join, you teach them to, how do you think out of, the box, to create solutions that the world needs, to create solutions that a country that Uganda needs. Because, in every environment where we keep around ourselves, there are quite, a lot of problems that can be, managed if, we put in that element of design thinking, but also, how to use ICT as an enabler to be part of the solution. So thank you so much, for your elaborative, answer. And I hope our participants have really gained a lot from your discussion. So with us also in the house, we do have Angella Tugume from NITA Uganda. So Angella will be with us for a short time. So Angella is a cybersecurity expert with over 10 years experience. She holds an MBA in information systems, but also a certified information systems audit. She's also a certified in risk systems control. She's a fellow of the Africa Cyber Experts Fellowship and currently working as a manager, data protection affairs at the Personal Data Protection Office under NITA Uganda. So Angella supports the provision of relevant regulatory guidance and information to organizations and individuals in line with the Data Protection and Privacy Act 2019. Angella, you're most welcome. So my question to you will be, how far has NITA Uganda ensured the protection of women and girls online while using the emerging technologies, which is the new, what we call the 5th generation of technologies in this 4th industrial revolution? Angella, back to you.
Thank you so much, and good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to be here. Just see if I can do my video.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a pleasure to be here once again. And I'd like to say thank you for all of you. Yes, so we're talking about NITA and what NITA has done so far in regards to women and to ensure that the girls and women online in the emerging technologies is working in place. So as NITA, we have actually put in place an enabling environment. So when we talk about an enabling environment, we're talking about laws, we're talking about regulations. Now, without this environment, then there is no way that women or girls can seek redress when they are harassed or when they face fear online. And so this environment makes sure that there is a legal redress for women online once they face any issues online, any bullying or harassment. And we have laws such as the Computer Misuse Act that is in place for that as well. And then the other thing that we have done is conduct cybersecurity awareness, because we know that without knowledge, without awareness, then most of the things will go either unreported or untackled and unsolved. So we believe at NITA that it's very, very important to actually have cyber security awareness measures in place. Why? Because then these make sure that the women are empowered. They have knowledge, they have information that they can use while online, because we believe in equipping women and girls to be able to defend themselves online in this space. And then we've partnered with IWF, Internet Watch Foundation, to make sure that we are dealing with issues of child pornography. And so we say that if you find an image of a child pornography online, do report it to us through our portal, sat.ug, and those images will be taken down. Why? Because we believe that even after an atrocity has been committed and the images stay online or the videos stay online, this will perpetuate the crime on the victim. And so we look to making sure that these images, these videos actually go offline, so that then it can bring healing and, and comfort to the victims. And then also we have the sat.ug, where you can actually report. We work closely with the police in the SAT, so you're also able to report any issues, any crimes to the SAT as a woman or as a young girl in ICT. Thank you so much, Joan.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Angella, for your elaborative, discussion around, the laws, the legal system in protection of women, girls, and children online. I love the fact that you talk about, the Computer Misuse Act and the role you play around, in the protection of women's, rights online, because you find that today, most women, especially even women in leadership or even young women, have got challenges when accessing these platforms people are bullied. There's a lot of cyber stalking, issues around identity theft, and probably we know or we are not sure of how we can be protected online. So NITA Uganda coming in to raise awareness through these cybersecurity webinars to the public is a great platform to empower our women and girls going forward as regards to, the theme of today, which is access and safety. I also picked from you when you talked about the role you are doing in protecting children, where with the Internet Watch Foundation, prevention of child pornography and all that comes within that area. So it's really a great initiative, and many thanks to your entire team at the authority. So I'll straight go to our next speaker, who is Rosebella Nsita. I hope I really pronounce your name clearly.
Yes, Angella.
I will introduce Rosebella. Yes, our next speaker is Rosebella from Fundi Boots, Uganda. She's currently the regional manager at Fundi Boots. She's a soft skills coach who is passionate about youth capacity building with a keen eye on nurturing the girl child to maximize their potential. Rosebella's strength, of course, lies in leadership, but also inspiring young people. So my first question for you, Rosebella, will be, as Fundi Boots Uganda, could you walk us through the initiatives you have done so far and how you influence the digital age for women and girls? Rosebella, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Joan. And also thank you so much for everyone who has joined the call. It's very interesting when we are having a room filled with gentlemen and ladies trying to figure out how we can continue to help nurture and capacity build the young generation, especially the female. When we talk about girls, I get very delighted and get very excited. Fundi Boots as an organization has one mission, and I think when it comes to the theme, we are here for accessibility, and then we can partner with the rest of, with NITA, with Madame Christine on security and all that. So our one mission is to accelerate science learning in Africa. And how can we talk about science without talking about technology? I mean, it's the fifth industrial revolution. So what have we done as Fundi Boots? As an organization over the years, we are 10 years old. We have impacted over 11,000 students. We have outlets in the north. We are in Gulu, we are in Bara, we are in Mbale, and of course we are here in Kampala. And out of the 11,000, more than 5,000 are girls. And that goes to show that we are intentional about capturing where are the females. But even then you can see over 11,000, but we still have just 5,000 young ladies or the female. So how do we then impact the digital age? We try to capture these young people from the age of 6. So we are in the classrooms. We are with the teachers. We are capturing them there. We've got 2 tools that we use. When you talk about Fundi Boots, everyone will talk about robotics. The first thing they will hear is the bots, and they will ask, where is the robot? It's very interesting how people think they're going to come to probably in our space and find Sophia, the robot, the talking robot. And hopefully one day we shall have a Ugandan robot. I don't know which name we shall give the robot, but we shall work on this together. But why do we go to the classrooms? We go to the classrooms so that we can be in position to change the attitude of this young girl at an early age so that they can be in position to be exactly what they want to be and do exactly what they want to do before they are corrupted. So we use robotics, but we also have a tool called the enhanced science. We have different programs. We have what we call the Fundi at school in the classroom. We have Fundi at home in the community, where we give you our science projects, science concepts to use in the comfort of your home. We have our Fundi at work, where we are now nurturing the ones that are at the university, the ones that are out of school. But cross-cutting therein is Fundi Girls. We are asking ourselves, where is the girl child? How many are they? Where are the ladies? Where are the women in this whole initiative that we are trying to capture? So we have a whole entire team called the Fundi Girls community. How do we do this? Apart from the classroom setting where we go and maybe do a robotics training, or we go and do an enhanced, we take our enhanced science curriculum tools so that the girls can understand the science concepts better. Enhanced science is just us working with the National Curriculum Development Center to get the tools, the practical tools in the science curriculum, create modules, which we then take back to the schools, and then the schools help give us teachers that we train again, and then they take it back to the classroom so that the young learner can be in position to understand the science concept better. So we are trying to break the myth that science is hard. Then we have an internship program. We welcome as many girls as we can. We have a Fundi Girls community. This one is for the girls out of school, but that does not mean that we don't take care of the boy child, because we know for sure that it is very important for us. If we are to curb this down, we have to have intentional male inclusion. We work in partnerships with everyone who is on the strong initiative of ensuring that we have gender equity. So we have a curriculum for the girls, and it has evolved over the years. We partnered with J&J South Africa, and our Fundi at Schools programs manager, who also doubles as our curriculum development associate, has done a very beautiful job to ensure that this that we are taking to the girls is holistic. It has it all. It has how do we capacity build them in the classroom, in their social lives, and even in their emotional, we are capturing emotional intelligence therein. So to answer your question, Joan, we are being intentional about taking a science a notch higher through technology, robotics, but also in their classroom through the national curriculum, and also being intentional about working in partnerships with other people who are already doing a beautiful job and incorporating what we feel is necessary in our curriculum as well. I hope that answers your question. Joan?
Yes, Rosebella. Thank you so much for that elaborate, discussion around the work with Fundi bots. Actually, I also thought I should really come around. You must have the Sophia at office. But I love that, you bring in the kind of initiatives that, divisive. You have programs for the young children. You have for those that are out of school, but even for those that are in school. Because, when we talk about robotics in the tech, it's part of, the emerging technologies that we are looking at. Because, someone told me we shall get to a place when machines understand us more than ourselves. So that is how tough, technology is getting. So, which means we must be up to date on how these, techs, the emerging technologies, robotics, AI, machine learning, and be able to know how actually they work. So tapping into the young ones actually before I think it's a great initiative for me, because you expose them to the tech, but also help them again to be innovative in a way of how to use that to better themselves around the tech world, which is really a great initiative. And I've also loved that you are partnering with some other people, organizations that are doing the same work to further spread awareness about this tech system. Another thing that I also picked from your discussion, it is not only about the girl child or the young woman. You're also thinking through of these texts and how to expose them to also the boy child at the same time. So thank you so much. My next question will be to Angella. I hope she's still with us. Angella, maybe you could tell us, what strategies have you put in place as NITA to allow for effective participation of women and girls in this area of ICT? Of course, not forgetting, the theme is access and safety today. Back to you, Angella.
Thank you very much, Joan. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, of course.
Okay, perfect. I think forgot to mention that at NITA, we are driving the digital transformation, the digital revolution. So it's very important for us to make sure that we have safety or security for our users, and especially for the most vulnerable groups, who are the girls and the women. So some of the solutions that we actually implement, like for example, we're implementing a solution called UG Pass that is going to help with authentication and making sure that there's digital safety and security online while accessing especially government platforms or applications. And then also from my side, from the Data Protection Office, we are making sure that the personal data that the girls and the women share with our various companies, with our various data controllers or processors that we like to call them, is actually safe, protected, but also that these girls or women know their rights in terms of what they can and what they can do in order to make sure that they are protected online, that their personal data is protected online and it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. So like the ability or the right to ask for what kind of information a company holds on you as a young woman or as a girl, that's very important. And also the right to make sure that that information is actually rectified if it's wrong, or deleted if it was collected illegally or unlawfully. So these are the things that we are doing. And like I said, we really want to create a lot of awareness, because an empowered woman, an empowered girl is a great asset to society, to the organization. So we really focus on this bit of empowerment. Now, back to your questions, what strategies do we have in place? We have girls in ICT training and capacity building programs that we run every year as NITA. And we also support Women in Technology Uganda operations, WITU. Now, WITU provides women and girls with tools and skills to live sustainable lives. We have also given very special attention to girl technology solutions, startups under the local grant scheme, which is the National ICT Incentive Support Program, NIISP. And then some of the other things that we do, we've run and supported quite a number of events targeted to this, e.g. the academia, where academia meets industry. So we go to the academia and then we look at what happens when the academia meets the industry. So we do support many of these events. We also support a lot of hack events in the academia, in universities, things like introduction to cybersecurity, boot camps. We do support all these. So there's quite a bit where we actually focus and make sure that in whatever we do, the girl child or the woman as well are very well taken care of, and making sure that the times, the places are actually conducive for the girl child and the woman. Thank you so much, Joan. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Angela. And it's good you are with us in the house to discuss these strategies and the initiatives that NITA is doing to support the girl child, because sometimes we are out there, but we really actually don't know that this exists. And it's really, really great to have you discuss, especially, how you're working around the digital transformation agenda. How you are actually looking at capacity building programs with WITU, partnering with them to retool, women and girls. But I also love the fact that today you have a fund that, women and girls in ICT can tap into, if they have startups to be supported to provide solutions to, the ever-emerging challenges around, ICT usage, but also adoption at some point in time. So thank you so much for all your support you are giving from that side. And the next question will go to Christine from the Aydia. Christine, in the advocacy, you realize mindset change is key. How have you broadened the scope within the mindset change for girls to be able to leverage more opportunities in technology? Christine, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Joan. Yes, so at Aydia Agenda, like I mentioned, we've been holding a lot of leadership and personal development trainings, basically to help these young women understand who they are. Like I said, sometimes you can give a skill to someone, but if they don't know who they are on a personal level, it's very hard for them to implement whatever they are learning. So basically help them discover who they are. And that's through the personal development trainings, empowering them on a personal level to sort of help them understand that technology is for all. There's no limitation to technology. As you know, when you're signing up on Facebook, they're not going to say, oh, you're a woman, you can't sign up. When you get a smartphone, they're not going to say, oh, you're a woman, you don't need to get a smartphone. It's open to everyone, but it's the mindset that they have towards the use of technology that limits them from using it. In school, while you're growing up and studying, it's already something that's planted in your mind that technology is hard, and it's something that's only, manageable by boys, which gets me to ask the question, when they are teaching, when they're offering these classes, they don't divide and say, okay, boys go on one side, girls go on one side. Girls will study English, boys will study, physics, chemistry, and all these other science-related, technical-related subjects. So there's no separation of technologies only for men. It's the mindset that we have towards it. So basically, we try to change their mindset to help them understand that we are in a tech-forward world. We are in a tech-dominated world. Everything we do is technology. Right now, we are on a Zoom session. That's technology. And technology is basically an enabler. It enables us do things in a way that maybe we would not have been able to do without technology. And I believe we can all agree technology on its own is useless. It's just an enabler of something. So basically to help them understand, even if they don't, and technology is not about knowing how to do software design, creating applications, the back end of it. Technology is as simple as knowing how to use maybe a smartphone to promote your business, or create graphics to promote maybe an event of yours. It's the simple things, basically, signing up on different platforms to sort of push your or whatever you're doing. So that's basically technology enabling us to achieve certain goals that would have been harder to achieve without it. And also allowing critical thinking and design thinking where young people can go away from the traditional way of learning and highlight the need to address issues in society. As we know, the education system and the way of learning in Uganda is a bit outdated. I don't know if the syllabus has been updated for the last how many years. So the syllabus of 10 years ago is not, in any way compared to how the world is running 10 years now. We've now moved forward. With technology. Students are being advanced in the use of phones, computers, smartphones for learning purposes. During COVID, we realized, how does a child continue learning without them having to go to school? And that's when technology came in and found all these different telecom companies, trying to create these packages of data for students to learn online. So just imagine the ones that did not have any access, the young people that did not have access to technology were not able to continue learning. For the women and the young girls and women that had shied away from technology, that means limited them from continuity of learning. So mindset change has really been an important aspect for us, also through mentorship pairing young women with women who have achieved in being able to use technology in their line of work or in their careers. And also, having discussions, dialogues where we bring in other women to inspire these other young women that are looking to join the field, and speaking to them like, it's not that hard. It's not really that hard to use technology. It's not that hard to pursue a career, a tech-related career. We believe such conversations are able to help some of them change their mindset and maybe a better attitude towards technology, which also can be attributed to the experiences women have online. We are talking about access and safety. Yes, you've given them the access, but how safe are they online? There's a lot of bullying, there's a lot of click forming against women, there's a lot of online sexual harassment, there's a lot of hate speech, which makes many of them shy away. We've seen a lot of women and celebrities, or female celebrities, whose pictures have been leaked online without their consent. And some of them may stay away from social media, which sometimes could have been, which most of the time, let's say for female, let's say celebrities, they use technology to promote their work. They use technology to earn money. But imagine if the pictures are leaked, then you stay away for quite some time. That affects your business. That affects your income. So we of course, we also incorporate the aspect of safety online. How can women keep safe online in relation to also speaking about mental health in the digital era? We've seen a lot of people who have become depressed due to comparisons of their peers online. They've been bullied to the point that they don't want to the point that it affects their mental health, they fall into depression, they get stressed from just being online. And also we try to stress that there's the access bit of it, but how safe are you online? Because unsafety online can also contribute to your unsafety offline. And also just maintaining a positive mental health while depending on technology. Also, we place them in organizations where they can practice their learned skills. And the more you practice, the more you become used to something. So if I'm practicing, let's say coding, if I'm placed in another organization, I'm able to translate that skill, and the more I practice, the more maybe my mindset changes, the more confident I become when it comes to using technology. So there's been a number of ways we've tried to change their mindsets, but the main ones are basically leadership, personal development, mentorship, dialogues that influence them and inspire them with technology, and also stressing the importance of knowing how to use technology. It doesn't matter how simple it is. It doesn't have to be, like I say, in software design. It can be, graphics design, using social media, promoting your products online, promoting yourself, branding, digital marketing and all these other different aspects that are related to, using the different digital technology. So yes, those are some of the things we've used. So with the different ways we've been able to broaden the scope of mindset change. Thank you so much, Joan. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Christine, for that elaborative discussion around mindset change. I've been into a lot of advocacy work and trainings, but it's one thing to give out the tool, but it is also another for that student to be able to use the tool in an innovative and entrepreneurial way to further themselves or bring something on board, because I keep giving them examples. When you look like at Spotify, all these apps that are with us, it was someone, design using the design thinking methodology, working with the double diamond to come up with something that could, provide a service, and then like how Apple, works, and be able to make yourself better. So mindset change, the confidence around these ICTs for women and girls is something that we still need to push for. And I also love the fact that you talk about the issue around online, gender-based violence. This is a silent killer that is actually pushing our women and girls offline, especially celebrities, women in leadership. Yet these are platforms where people, try to sell their services or products or build their brands against all these old odds, because they are cheap, most times to, put you out there. So thank you so much for, doing that. Even in your cohorts, you teach them leadership. How do you sell yourself? How are you going to get, how is your confidence, towards, accessing the platforms, no matter the harassment, no matter the, the environment to which, people keep fighting you as a young woman or young girl in this fourth industrial revolution. So we have a question from Osea Manu from Ghana, and I think I'll take this question straight to Angella. Hope she's still with us. He goes to say that safety online for girls all over the world has become increasingly worrying globally. There seems to be a gap in addressing gendered forms of cyber harassment in spite of the existing laws. What regulatory frameworks need to be reinforced to acknowledge the gendered nature of cyber attacks against women and girls? Over to you, Angella, if you are still with us. Hello, Angella, can you still hear us? Hi, Angella. Can you hear me, Innocent?
Yes, loud and clear.
Joan, we can hear you.
Okay. Angella, can you hear us? We have a question for you. Okay, it seems she's a little bit off or having technical challenges, but we'll straight go to Christine for the next question. Rather, Rosebella from Fundi Boots. Of course, Rosebella, in the today's world where we are speaking about the theme of, access and safety, we really need to know what are some of the challenges faced by girls and women in technology, and how is Fundi Boots, trying to, address such risks and challenges with these ICTs. So back to you, Rosebella.
Thank you so much, Joan. And yeah, Christine could not have said it better. There's lots of things that I wanted to talk about that she's already mentioned, but I'll just reiterate and also just put a little emphasis. I'm sorry, I'm going to have my camera off. I get feedback. So there's been a lot of research around and a lot of literature review technology. And it is no, I don't know if you can still hear me, my internet. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Okay. So I lost my line of thought there, but let me just try to pick it up from there. Like I was mentioning, the literature is all over. What is the actual problem? But I identify, and I just want to share a few of them here. They say charity begins at home, and the influence of family and teachers has a very big role that it plays on what the girl child, or even just another, even when it is a young man, when it comes to the choice of career, the choices and consequences. It's nothing that there is nothing to hide when we mention that most of the girls are attracted to careers that they feel are easier or are meant for them because of a gender affiliated, kind of conception. And again, that brings us to stereotyping. But one of the issues that you find that right from the classroom, the teacher is telling the girl child, girls are meant to be either teachers, nurses, even though not ask them to be maybe surgeons. Even when they tell them, when they go to the medical field, they will tell them a girl is a nurse. A girl is an English teacher, engineering, engineering, really, you want to go and do electronic engineering and you will climb up that tree, and it's coming from home, and it's also coming from the teachers. So imagine, and these are the two spaces where we spend most of our decision-making years. So between age 0 to 21, you're still at home and you're being influenced in two different institutions. At home, which is family, and at school, where you are being biased over and over again against the career path that you would want to take. So the girls face a challenge of not having proper career guidance, but also the fact that when it comes to the use of technology, there is a lot of stereotypes, and there's also a lot of misconception that is embedded there. It is very important for us to point that these stereotypes are usually embedded in social perceptions about the male nature, ICT, jobs, and sometimes this just rubs off wrong for the girls, like I have already mentioned. But also the girls lack knowledge about the practicalities of the jobs in the sector. Most people think technology is coding, technology is apps, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence. So then someone will think it is those hard things. But until they've been in position to experience it, to go out and try it, and who can give them this, again, going back from where I started, from home, from school, from the community around, because we do not have so many people modeling this. Most of the doctors are male doctors. Most of the pilots are male pilots. Most of the engineers are male engineers. So we need role models to come out, mentor these girls, talk to the girls, so that we can break the stereotype and break the myth and the misconceptions that are around there. Another thing that really is a challenge for girls and technology is self-efficacy. And this is a no-brainer, and Christine could not have said it any better. Girls lack self-confidence. There is just something about it. Not just girls, even women. We carry out what we call training of teachers, and we are intentional about at least having a female a teacher training that is just female-based. But when we have training of teachers and we have both male and female teachers, and now I'm talking about teachers even before I talk about the girl, you will see that the ladies will keep quiet in that training. When they are alone, they will have challenging questions. They will be proactive. When they are with the men, they will keep quiet. They will not interact with the tools. They will let the men do so. And where is this coming from? Imagine this is the science teacher, and these are science teachers that I am talking about. And these are maybe some of them are ICT teachers. They're the ones supposed to be teaching the girls in the classrooms that, you know, if it's typing, if it is soldering, if it is doing this experiment in the chemistry class, or if they are lecturers, if it is doing this in the lecture room, allow yourselves to do this. Without even going far, we have an internship program, and out of the 15 or so students we have here, we only have one girl. And this was an open internship program. And she's here in the classroom, just alone. So the self-confidence. Girls lack self-confidence, and I have a feeling this comes from anxiety. I think there's a lot of anxiety, and this comes from the unknown, the fear of the unknown. What if I go in and it doesn't work out? What if it works out anyways? Or what if it is hard and then the person sponsoring me cannot sponsor me anymore? So the challenge with attitude, self-confidence, all these coupled with the anxiety and the lack of extensive knowledge is something that needs to be addressed. This is what really disturbs girls and is the fear that technology is not for them. But like every other speaker has mentioned, there is sexual harassment, and I don't know if it is Mr. or Mrs. Osia from Ghana could not have said it any better. The laws are there, but the harassment is still on a rampage. The girls are being harassed, cyber harassment, even physical. Girls fear to go to the male teachers sometimes because the male teachers, I mean, we are hearing this at the university. So, or even in primary schools, and it is still there. Also, accessibility. In some areas, like I've told you, Fundi has a privilege of just being in the north, in the east, and in the central. It is just, there's lack of accessibilities. We've been to spaces where teachers do not know how to use laptops. They've never seen a computer in the classroom, and yet they are teaching ICT to students. You know how ICT has a whole curriculum, and they are teaching it in theory, and the practical has never happened. So I think maybe what really happens is, I think the ICT, when it's time for exams, they take them to probably an internet cafe and they will practice and then they will pass. So imagine that is the kind of learning environment we have. But we've seen it also with our university scholars that have come to do internship, and sometimes they've never interacted with some of the tools they find at the space. An engineering student who has never seen a resistor or a capacitor, or who has never interacted with an Arduino board, but that is an electrical engineering student, in all honesty. So these are some of the challenges. So there is accessibility, but just so you know, girls have a lot of responsibilities, and again, our physicality. And even when we want to say that this does not count, it does. It really does. In some spaces and in the rural areas, you still find that a girl has to first take care of the whole entire household chores before they go to school, and the boy has gone to school already. It's still happening and it is real. So in a nutshell, those are some of the problems that the young people are facing in regards to technology. But we as Fundi bots are here, and the rest of the partners are here to change the narrative. I like that NITA has a whole a portal where we can report these. So when we hear this, we shall, like I mentioned earlier, we love working in partnership. What we can't do, we look for who can do it better, and we forward the case there. We are doing a lot of mentoring. We do what we call connect sessions, similar to what academia meets industry does. We have worked with Refactory during the lockdown. They carried out a capacity building session for our girls in the community so that the girls can just learn how to be competent people, the girls in ICT, because we have a community of girls who already are in pursuing careers in ICT, but we just want to make them holistic and all round. They had a conversation with them so that we can break this myth. Like I mentioned earlier, we are trying to capture the girls young. So if they are not receiving it from home or from their teachers, at least they are receiving it from us as we go to the schools, as we go to the classrooms, as they come to the center, and we are telling them, if you can be just about anything, you have to be, as long as you are confident, you drop the myth, you try it out, you fail forward. Like if any of you follows us, we say onwards, upwards, and we encourage Kaizen moments. You fail, you learn, you move on, you improve, you keep growing. Thank you. I hope that answers you, Joan. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rosebella, for that, elaborative discussion around, the question. So, of course, my key takeaway is we need to have role models. Ourselves, we also ought to be role models to, avoid the stereotyping around, saying STEM is a male, dominated field, and women are supposed to be English teachers, or teaching something, or being a nurse or something. I think it is really, really bad, and I love the fact that you are there to change the narrative. Show them that you can do this. You can be an adrenal board, controller, behind content management and all that. Exposing them to these such initiatives. So it is it is, of course, I can't believe it is work in progress, but also we also accept that, while we have challenges around infrastructures, where we have students that are doing electrical engineering or computer science and have not touched the computer, this is still something big that I think it is all stakeholders should be involved, especially, I think, government, to see how to support such initiatives, or where infrastructure is available, in that students are able to use these systems. It's really quite, sad to hear that you're going to do an exam and then you have to travel, if you're in Soroti, and then you have to travel some 20 kilometers to find an internet cafe to start using the computer, and it is really a pity, but we also agree it is work in progress, and we believe where we are getting things going to be or will actually change. Angella, can you hear us, or we lost her again? Innocent, do we have Angella back, or Emmanuel?
She seems to be on. I can see her on the list.
Oh, hi, Angella, can you hear us? Okay, we shall go straight to the question from Osei Manu, streaming all the way from Ghana, where he talks about safety online for the girls all over the world becoming a worrying, issue globally. So what regulatory frameworks need to be reinforced to acknowledge the gendered nature of cyber attacks against women and girls? Titus, maybe you can take over this question. Do we have Titus with us?
Yeah. Thank you, Joan. I think we have a problem discussing a lot of issues, especially these that are gender-based. There was a time, I think it was somewhere between 2013 and 2016 there, where gender-based conversations were actually very active. And during those days, that's when a few things, a lot of pressure was put on cultures and traditions to be, squeezed a bit so that girl children, as I should call them, should got a little bit of breathing space and ventured into a wider space. If you look closely at how long it has taken women to come into these other spaces like education, like leadership, like it's not so long ago, because that conversation was had. So I think we backed down a bit on talking about culture and traditions and the way they affect women in coming into broader spaces. One of the reasons, in my experience, one of the reasons and one of the things that I've seen even in spaces where I've gone, like Rosebella said, you stand in a room full of girls and boys, and you want to hear, participation from both sides. Many girls cannot actually express themselves. Boys are there. It could be. We could say it's a natural thing. But I've been to places where girls speak without even minding whether the boys are there. So they see themselves at a certain level. It might not equate to the way boys see themselves, but it's still at a certain level where someone can speak for themselves. I'll give you an example of countries like Japan, where I've worked, countries like South Korea, where I've worked, where there's a lot of culture. The same challenges are happening because of the way culture is treated in some of these countries. So I think the gentleman is called Osei. I don't know whether it's a lady. Osei Manu, but the question about genderism is not necessarily something people just do. It is instituted in people when they are born, especially in Africa and Asia. When we are born, we are given a certain status as male, as boys or baby boys. Even at home, you'll see someone is treated different from their sister. They're treated different from the maid who is a girl. They're treated. So when they grow up, they learn to suppress. They suppress by their body expression. We've seen it in leadership. We've even seen it in the internet society itself. We've seen how much male supremacy can do to push people down. It doesn't only push people down because there are no laws. It pushes people down because even the people that formulate these laws do not actually consider the fact that there has to be a little bit of extra pressure when you're drawing policy to address the issue of self-esteem and how much it is easier for a girl to feel like theirs has been stepped on. We need to bring that conversation back. As early as last week, I was talking to young girls who conceived before the age of 18. I don't want to call them teenage moms. I was talking to them about self-esteem and what should be and what shouldn't be. And one of them told me that she cannot actually tell her father who impregnated her because she's not allowed to talk to her father. You know, I feel like the father did not say, don't talk to me, but because of the way he looks at the girl and how he expresses himself and what he does. So these regulations are actually in place, but we have focused so much on teaching the girls, you know, of what their rights are, and we forgot about teaching the boys of how a human being should behave. We have focused on the regulation and we forgot the initial problem. The initial problem is we are raising our children in a very wrong way that is not supportive of the growth of other people. It's not only actually girls. It's about sexuality. You'll find a certain masculinity talking to a different masculinity person in a different way because they think that person is different. We have not nurtured our boys, we have not nurtured our men to understand that the world is now equal. It's not that world from those days where women were not allowed to eat certain things. And we have this feeling that this only happens in Africa, but it also happens in Asia. In one of the programs that I run with the Tokyo Metropolitan University, we discussed this. We discussed why women are not so much into technology, yet there are opportunities in Japan. There are so many opportunities, and we realized that it's just culture that women are feeling inferior to men. They're supposed to be at a certain level. You're not supposed to say certain things to men. And it is not about regulation because the regulation is very perfect in Japan. This is happening in technology. It's happening in the workplace where women work. I'm sure people who work with men here will tell you. It's happening in so many places. So for me, I think as civil society and people who are doing work outside, you know, policy, let's first nurture a generation of young men. Let's first nurture a generation of young men, especially people like Rosebella who work with children, and Christine, because Christine, I understand she has a lot of experience towards this. Let's create a conversation where young men are understanding their role as human beings, not as men, but a role as human beings on planet Earth. What kind of footsteps or footmarks would you want to leave on planet Earth? Are you the guy that is going to be pushing women into the kitchen, or are you the guy that is going to pull women onto the open space for them to explore the resources and build this nation or build this world, add something to this world? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Titus, for that elaborate discussion. And next, we shall have one last question for Christine. Christine, are you there? Hi.
Yes, I
briefly highlight the key achievements that have been encountered in your milestone aimed at promoting girls in ICT.
Okay, thank you so much, Joan, for that, and to all the previous speakers that have been contributing to the conversation. I hope I know what has been discussed has been eye-opening for so many of the participants, so thank you so much for that. So some of the key achievements for us has been accessibility to both information and skills. And like Rosebella said, it's really important to, increase accessibility to, this knowledge in regards to ICT. So one of our contributions as Aydia Tech has been, giving access to information. There's one thing to say, oh, we need to promote girls in ICT, but then where do they find the information? How do they go about that journey? Who is helping them, up the ladder? As you know, parents leave these responsibilities of, choosing careers, you leave it to the schools. You grow up, you're sent to school, and the parents also have paid school fees. My child should be able to go through school, without assisting them in the journey. Most of them will not sit down and ask their children, what do you want to do? For some reason, they decide for them, those things of, you better be a lawyer, you better be a doctor, you better be this and that. But what if it's not in the interest of the girl, or what if it doesn't align with them as a person or their personality? I always give an example of if I'd been pushed into, let's say, the medical field, I would be a very sad doctor because I don't like hospitals. I don't like the feeling of being in hospitals. I don't like the misery, seeing people in pain. So I would be a very terrible doctor. And, I had the liberty of being able to choose what I want to do. But because I didn't have a sense of direction, I sort of went with bandwagon, especially in universities. You have your friends in hostel and they're like, and you're doing the same course, or your friends, that you are with in high school, and you're doing the same course, and you ask them, so what are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to do this course unit. You're like, oh yeah, let's go do this, The next semester, oh, you're going to do this. Oh, I think let me also do that, Just because you wanted people that you're able to discuss with, or, in terms of, exams, coursework, we have people you can rely on, or they can rely on you. But it wasn't the right sense of direction. There was no one to guide me in terms of, understanding myself, on a personal level, and knowing what my interests are, knowing what I like to do, what I enjoy to do. And, that support was not there. So, there was no accessibility to that information, personal development. And, parents, paid fees, the school should be able to let them, figure that on them, with the support of the school. And the school is, thinking the parents had better support their children. So there's a gap there. And what we try to do is sort of fill that gap. It's never too late, but like Rosebella said, it's better to cultivate them at an early age. They're in, let's say, vacation, they've joined campus, but it's never too late to change, to do what you want to do. And sometimes we let these young girls waste so much time in fields that they don't want to do. Someone goes into the medical field, 5 years later, they don't know why they did it. They don't know why they're in that field. They don't know what to do with their lives. And, they've wasted 5 years that they could have built, let's say, in a tech-related field that interests them. I would give an example of myself. 3 years in university, I still don't know what I was doing there. And I got out and I thought to myself, oh, I think I love technology. I love everything related to technology. I love working with computers. Anyone who knows me knows I'm addicted to having my computer next to me and trying to get things done, just to understand, also teaching myself any tech-related skills that I can pick on. So yes, accessibility has been one of our biggest achievements, where we've been able to train, for example, our STEM bootcamp, where we've been able to reach out to the 4 cohorts, about, let's say, 80 girls, almost 80 girls in the cohort. And I said, I can see some of them here. I see Swapa, there was Brenda, then I see, there's a number of girls in this cohort that joined, that have been Shamira, that have been Charity, and Daphne, and all. I don't know if Daphne was one of us, but yes, I see some of them on the call, and even them just to be open to, being part of these discussions. Maybe it's information that they didn't have before. And just to know that there are platforms where I can learn, there are platforms where I can be motivated, inspired, platforms like this. And, this is an opportunity that I shared with them, the different WhatsApp groups that we had created. So accessibility is very important. People don't know because they don't have the information. We've done a number of projects, the Women in Leadership project in Masaka, where, we were helping women in leadership positions to be able to stay safe online. As you know, most of them were using online platforms for campaigns, online platforms to let people know the work they're doing, but that comes also with the backlash. It comes with exposure to a lot of risks. Scammers are out there ready to, pounce on them and, scam them. So also just giving them those skills, promoting, the use of, technology to sort of create awareness about the work that they are doing, but also being able to stay safe. Also, the international partnerships we've been able to create, like the Impact Amplifier, which focuses on awareness of digital literacy, security, and digital tools and platforms to enhance learning. It's beyond just getting to know each other as partners or creating this partnership, but rather learning from each other, expanding our magnitude of impact, because, the more partners work with, the bigger the impact. For example, if I work with Fundi bots, we can incorporate and say the girls from the STEM boot camp, and we bring them to learn other skills at Fundi bots. And then, we are also learning. And I've also just learned today that Fundi bots is not just about robots. It's so easy to get lost in, what the assumption that, I would also think I'm going to go to Fundi bots and find robots and all this, but it's been eye-opening for me to learn more about what they do. So our achievements have been, providing information, increasing access to information, providing skills, and expanding the number of beneficiaries of our programs, and also exposing the girls to a number of different opportunities in the field of ICT, and also to better understand ICT. ICT is very wide. It's very wide, and it's always related to computers and and software, but there's more to ICT than just knowing how to create software or building platforms. But even something as simple as using Word, to do classroom work, or using internet for research, without having to know the complex bit of the ICT or complex bit of technology. So yes, those have been our key achievements and the milestones that we have encountered in promoting ICT. Thank you so much, Joan. And if there's any questions, I am here for the next maybe 3 minutes before I run off to another engagement. So thank you so much, Joan, and back to you.
Thank you so much, Christine, for that elaborative discussion. I love the fact that, of course, number one key issue is accessibility to information, but also, having a lot of, digital skillings in terms of trainings to these girls in a number of cohorts, and encouraging them to join quite a number of forums, webinars, where they could really get relevant information to further, better themselves in this area. So maybe we could have one question for you that is in the chat. We have Bas Hamza streaming in all the way from Arua. He actually asks, how can the perception of our African culture of underestimating the girl child in the science and related fields be cured? Back to you, Christine.
Repeat your question again.
Abbas says, how can the perception of our African culture, I think it is culture in general, of understanding the girl child in the science and related fields be cured?
Well, when it comes to the African culture and mindset, it goes back to generations and generations. And we all know it's very hard to wake up one day and say, tomorrow, we should all be able to understand the importance of involving girls in technology. It can't just happen. It takes years and years to, sort of do away with that mindset. And of course, there are people whose mindsets are just never going to change. They don't understand the concept of technology. They don't understand, they are used to a certain way of living. For example, someone in the village is not going to worry about not having data for a whole month. But here in let's say someone in Kampala is thinking, oh my God, I've run out of data, and they immediately buy it because for them, they understand the concept of being able to, have that data and be connected in this tech world. So mindset change is not something that we can just wake up and work on, but I feel like the small steps matter. Progress, not perfection, we don't have to have the results by tomorrow, but the small steps, for example, encouraging your young sister, to use technology, not taking the computer away, or seeing a neighbor's child not, being involved in computers, or thinking, oh, she's going to become a tomboy, why is she always using computers, why is she always on internet cafes? It starts with, the simple steps, such as, encouraging them to be part of these platforms without necessarily thinking, okay, I need to change the whole mindset or perception of everyone so that they understand the importance of technology. I don't think that's something we can do, but the small steps towards, achieving what we want to achieve in terms of accessibility for women and girls. It also starts with right from home, like Rosebella said. I think our parents still have the mindset of, girls are for administrative work and boys are for this fields such as, engineering. That's what boys are meant for. But if you see the parents lately, the mindset is different. They are more open, Find a parent, oh, my girl loves maybe drawing, my girl loves graphics, so I need to buy her tab so she can practice on that. That's a mindset change. That shows that, people are different, people are thinking differently. The girl will ask for computer lessons and they'll pay for them. Unlike before, computer lessons were paid for by the boys, and then the girls are sent to those clubs such as, what was the example? Let me say debates. Yes, debates, those are the clubs that they would want to pay for the girls to be involved in. But things are changing. I believe with time we will adjust, but it's not going to be tomorrow. It won't be next week. It won't be next year. It's quite a journey that we should be committed to by making our contributions as an individual. For example, on this call, we have 30, 40 people who are influencing more women and girls in technology. That means 30 and more girls would be influenced into, incorporating ICT in their daily life. So yes, let's just make our contribution and hope for the best. Yeah. Thank you, Joan. And thanks for the question. Back to you. I will be running off shortly if there's no other questions.
Thank you so much for your time. Participants, do we have anyone who has a question as Christine, drops off the call for another discussion for her? Okay, straight we will go back to Rosebella from Fundi, Uganda. And Rosebella, the question is, what are some of the opportunities, that girls could take up in ICT and as Fundi bots? Uganda, Christine, are you there? Rather, Rosebella, sorry.
Yes, Joan, I am here. And I would like to twist your question a little bit. When you say, what are some of the opportunities that girls could take on? I want to say girls can take on just about it, just like the men can. We are here to break the narrative, to change the norm that there are things for girls and boys. We can all do and just be what we would want to be, as long as we are up to it. There is a research, I think, that says, and I'm not sure about the statistic, and I'll look it up, but I know that 90 or 95% of the skills that will be needed now, maybe 5 to 10 years from today, will be ICT related. So the earlier we get on board as this gender, like they want to call us, the better for us. And I like that we're having these conversations. The opportunities are equal opportunities. A girl can be a pilot, a girl can be an anatomist, a girl can be a content creator, a girl can be a digital strategist, a girl can be in road constructions, a girl can just be in cybersecurity. I mean, Angella was here teaching us about cybersecurity. So the opportunities are equal opportunities. So to answer you in a nutshell would be what men can do, girls can. Sorry about that. I think someone was trying to call me. I had set I don't know if you can still hear me. But what are some of the opportunities we have as Fundi bots? We have platforms that are readily available for the young women to join. We have a Fundi Girls platform, but also our center is open. Like I mentioned to you, we have Fundi at school, we have Fundi at home, we have Fundi at work, and we have Fundi Girls. And that in summary tells you what we do, but leaving out the administrative, of course, there is the administrative. So we work with schools. So in case you're in this call and you know of a school that we can go to, kindly let us know. And if the resources allow us, we shall go there. We have holiday classes. There is a holiday class happening right now, even at the center, so that we can expose the children to these technologies, even when they're still young, instead of leaving that child who says they love coding, they love, robotics. And there's some children who just want to get career guidance and everything. I mean, we said our mission is to accelerate science learning. We train teachers. I have mentioned, we do train teachers. We have internship opportunities for the young people in the university. We carry out what we call connect sessions. If you follow our social media platforms, we put these things out there, we disseminate the information. And the only thing that can actually beat this is if we are intentional as women, because honestly, I think it was Eliezer who said, the men need to change, but the men have tried. But the ladies we are still pushing ourselves behind. So for those of us who know, we need to continue putting it out there. We also have we have Fundi Girls program, and we partner with other people. Like right now, our programs lead for Fundi Girls is in Bid with the Uganda Communication Commissions. They've trained, I think, over 120 girls in robotics in a very remote area. So call us on. If we can work out something together, we shall work out together, because we believe in collaboration. We have a very audacious target that we need to meet, and we cannot meet it alone. We know we are a small team, and we can only accelerate science learning if we are working with Internet Society, if we're working with NITA, if we're working with a gentleman or lady from Ghana. Ours is Africa. We are coming. So I like that you're calling us Fundi Bots Uganda, more like prophecy. We are moving onwards, upwards. The opportunities are immense. The team is dedicated. We are willing to teach, to learn and unlearn as we continue to ensure that we influence and impact and see that every child gets to live the dream and fulfill their God-given potential. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I can't really add on to that. Participants, if you have any question, you can type it in the chat or raise your hand to speak or ask the question. But going forward, keep the tweets coming in, Facebook, Twitter, hashtag, Girls in ICT Day 2022. Do not forget to tag Fundi Bots, Internet Society Uganda chapter, but also NITA Uganda and also ISOC Global. These are really great, conversations that you could not get anywhere apart from this, platform or meeting today. So do we have any hands raised, Innocent or Jessie? Titus, would you want to add anything onto the discussion? Or Ivan or Innocent? Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Hello.
Okay.
Yes, Joan. Thanks very much. Those have really been great discussions. Of course, now the ball comes back to our hands. It's been a successful session. So what next? That's usually the question. Is it about coming here and gathering and discussing, or it's always taking up what has been discussed and being able to put this into practical processes in our communities, in our institutions of learning, in our workplaces. So it starts with us. We are the informed ones now, at least we have been on the session, and we have had some interesting insights and inputs from our speakers, and also interesting questions. So I hope that with what we've learned, with what we've gotten from here, we can be able to create a change in the various places where we work or study, or we can be able to inspire some of our colleagues who are not with us here. You can be able to talk to them. So yeah, so it's about what next after this. So it goes back to us who have attended. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Innocent, for that. And Christine, if you're with us, Immaculate is asking and thanking you, first of all, for the great and excellent discussion. Are there any professional upskilling options for people who want to improve their tech knowledge at Fundi? But I also remember you talked about the 3 big initiatives: Fundi at home, Fundi at work, and Fundi at school. Back to you, Christine.
I think Fundi would be me. I think Fundi would be Rosebella.
Rosebella, yeah, sorry, yeah.
So upskilling options for people who want to improve their technology. Yes, like I have mentioned, we have Fundi at work. We work with interns. Most cases, it's our primary target and our primary audience is 6 to 18. Secondary is 18 to 25. But it doesn't harm learning, and learning is a journey. You can still learn something at 40. So if you want to learn something and you came to us, and definitely, and it is within our jurisdiction, we shall definitely share our knowledge. Knowledge sharing is part of our values. It's one of our core values. We don't sit on knowledge. And the answer there is yes, for as long as it is something that we can share with you. If we do not have the expertise and know someone who can help you or have resource, because on our platforms, we share a lot of resources. We could have resource, but could not have the expertise, philanthropy resources. We can share it with you because we believe that each one of us, again, like I mentioned, can learn and unlearn, and we make this world a better place. Yeah.
Thank you once again. Do we have any other hands raised or questions? Okay, seems there are no questions. So, Rosebella, your parting shot as we close off this, meeting today.
So, because the theme was safety and access, there's a lot of opportunities. Please don't allow your mindset to limit you. My parting clause, especially to the young women, like I mentioned, like they read in my bio, I have a very keen eye in helping young people, especially the young women and girls in their to maximize their potential. You're limitless. You can just be about anything that you want to be. The opportunities are there, so take part. Take charge of your life and take part. And yes, it is an onwards, upwards. Another value that we have at Fundibots that I love to use as a value that is personal is Kaizen. It is okay that you do not know, but it is not okay that you don't know and you're not learning. So please be teachable, have a teachable spirit so that you can learn and unlearn and make the best of what you have learned. Don't learn and leave it where you have learned it. Make sure that when you learn, you implement and you execute. My catchphrase is usually identify, influence, and impact. I cannot wait to see what will happen next year during the ICT Girls Day when we are discussing change-making numbers. Be the change you want to be, and always remember there is power in kindness. Be kind to yourself and to others.
Wow, what a closing statement. I can't add onto it, but thank you so much for your time, for your insightful discussion around the issue. We are pleased and very thankful. So going forward, you will see us sending you quite a number of women and young girls at your center for furthermore training and building, giving them the skills they need. And Titus, do you have any closing remarks from the chapter? Hello, Titus.
So, yes, I'm here. I would just love to thank everybody that managed to join this call, and request everybody to take a little time and think about this subject. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Hello. So yeah, I would request everyone who attended this call to take a little extra time and think about this particular and think about how to support women to be able to advance in technology and ICTs. Also, I would encourage us all to at least find a way of into the Internet Society Uganda chapters projects. I think information is sent out. I don't know whether Brenda is here. I saw her joining, but I hope she has a way of sending out information so that everyone here can participate in the projects that are currently being planned or those ones that are ongoing. Besides that, there is nothing else. I would just love to say thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Titus, for the closing remark. Yeah, and just as also says, it's such an interesting meeting. As a teacher of ICT, surely I have learned a lot from your members. Thank you very much. We appreciate your feedback, Justus, and have a great day. Keep celebrating online. Join other meetings. It's a global ICT Girls in ICT Day across, the globe for the beautiful conversations, but also do not forget to share on social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, of what has been learned today, and be a champion, to be that role model for a young woman out there, for a young lady out there, and see them thrive. So from me and the Internet Society Uganda chapter, we say thank you. But we cannot, thank enough our panelists, Rosebella, Nsita, Angella Tugume from NITA Uganda, and Christine Adero from the Aydia Gender and Technology Initiative. We say thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye. So